So let's move on to our next topic, which will be movies and TV. So the way this will work is we'll each go around and talk about and kind of pitch to each other a movie or a TV show that has really inspired us or we just really love. And yeah, so Joy, what movie or TV show do you have for us?
Well, I would say the one show right now that has my attention is the Marvel's WandaVision TV show. I think it's very creatively done, and I'm just really enjoying the cast and kind of the different perspectives that has of what can sometimes feel like I don't know, sometimes the Marvel movies can all seem very similar, but this one's just kind of in a whole other like category of its own, and you're kind of not sure who's the hero and who's the villain, and you don't really want your hero and the villain to be the same person at the same time. So I'm really enjoying, especially now that they're kind of uncovering it a little bit more. I'm enjoying um, kind of getting some of the answers to the questions, but I still have a few.
Yeah, they keep dangling that carrot every week and making
Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. We're ready, but we're not
just
because
the
we don't want it
concept.
to end.
Yeah, just the concept of the show in general is just it's so out there but so brilliant. Like being
hmm
able to balance the idea of like a TV sitcom and all these different realities and things like
hmm
that. And then there's
Universe.
something that without giving too much away, it's just something that Marvel can only pull off, in my opinion. Like it's just so,
Yeah,
but it's a
yeah.
great show for sure. Lane, have you seen WandaVision?
Okay, so I know it exists, but my thing is I don't want to be listen, here's the thing. I want to wait for all the episodes to come out because I don't like watching it one week and being like, oh my gosh, I have to wait a whole 7 days for the next part of it. So I just pull things out and I'm just gonna binge it all at once. So
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, no spoilers.
Not a fan of
That's fair,
suspense.
right?
I will say
You're
though,
missing out.
there is something about the week to week that makes it really special.
Yeah.
And so any chance you can get to watch it week to week, I would highly recommend that if you have yet to catch up. But
Yeah, I think it's only like 8 episodes in, maybe something like that. 7
yeah,
or 8.
I think we
So.
lost Lane there. We'll see if we
Oh
hops
no,
back in, and we'll have
he's
to edit
frozen.
this out.
There
There
you
he
are.
is. We were losing you for a second.
Am I back?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I left. I heard y'all the whole time.
Okay. Well, that's good. So yeah, WandaVision it's a great show. And where can people find that, Joy?
Streaming on Disney Plus. I think they got a new episode every week. I think Fridays, so definitely check it out.
Yep. Awesome. Check it out, guys. Okay. So Lane, what movie or TV show do you have for us today?
So for my movie, me and my fiance have been watching all of the Harry Potter films, which have been really fun because it brings us back to our childhood. Well, my childhood. She's never seen them, but again, that's why we're revisiting them. It's been a lot of fun. I read the books as a kid. I loved just all the movies. I even dressed as Harry Potter for Halloween once, which wasn't that hard. I just had to give myself a scar by hitting my head really hard and putting on some glasses. So
Yeah, I was Harry
Yeah.
Potter, but I don't think I did the same thing. But go ahead.
Well, you didn't devote yourself to the role then. Yeah, so I'm definitely a Hufflepuff. She's a Ravenclaw. I want to be a Gryffindor, but we got to face reality at some point.
We can't all be.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been a really fun time just rewatching them, especially during all the snow days that we've had. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think they speak for themselves. I mean, if you haven't seen Harry Potter at this point, then maybe you just never will watch it. But hopefully I can convince you to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
So
for me, I've seen them all except for the last one. For some reason, I've just never, haven't seen part two, Deathly Hallows Part 2. But I do love the movies up until the fourth one. After the fourth one, they all kind of start running together to me because like they change tonally, and like the story kind of goes in a different direction. So like for me, I really enjoy the first 4. So, and I haven't seen the ending, but I know what happens. I mean, good always triumphs over evil. So
Yeah,
You don't want it to be ruined. You want to make up your own alternate ending.
and that's fair because yeah, it's like, you know what, just stop after, if we're ahead, let's just stop. But yeah, the Order of the Phoenix, it does introduce a lot of concepts and characters, and it's like even watching it, Danielle was like, "What's this and that, and who's that and this?" I'm like, I was like, I know, trust me. I was like, it's a lot. I was like, and even reading the book as a kid, I don't think I understood half the stuff that I was talking about, but I was like, I just still love Harry Potter. I'm just gonna keep reading the words on the page. But and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I love it. It's great.
Well, like even for me, I kind of fell off after the 4th book when I was reading that as a kid. But even then, that was right when the movie started coming out. And so I was like, well, what's the point of reading these books if we've got movies coming? So I just watched the movies, and then I kind of like disregarded the books.
Well, to be fair, the books do have a lot of like filler stuff, quote unquote, where it's like, okay, this is like just descriptive and like not important.
Hey,
I mean, the
now.
only other franchise yeah,
I like all those
and
extra adjectives.
yeah, I mean, it's fun to read, but it's like the movies kind of do just be like, okay, we'll take those words and we'll sum it up even quicker.
To the point.
So yeah, go watch Harry Potter. It's on Peacock.
Harry Potter.
There you have it.
All right.
Yep.
All right, we're going to move over to mine, and I'm going to talk about a film called Sound of Metal. So for those who don't know, Sound of Metal is a film that came out at the end of last year, and I think December of 2020, but it's just kind of picked up a lot of buzz, especially for the award season coming up this past month. So I got a chance to finally watch it recently, and all I got to say is it is incredible. And no, it's not a metal documentary. A lot of people keep thinking that it's like a documentary of some sorts. The way they market it is really interesting, because they don't really tell you anything about what it's about, But just kind of a little synopsis of what it is. It's directed by Darius Martyr, which apparently this is his first film to direct, so that's really cool to kind of see. It stars Riz Ahmed. He plays the character Ruben, which is the main character of the story. Olivia Cook plays Lou, which is his girlfriend in the movie. And then Paul Raci is a guy named Joe, who he kind of works with. And just a little backstory on what it's about. The kind of this overall synopsis is it's a story of a heavy metal drummer whose life is kind of thrown in a free fall whenever he starts to lose his hearing. From playing so many shows without any kind of ear protection or anything like that. And so it kind of takes that idea and it's like, well, what is the repercussions of that? What does that do to a person? What does that do to their relationship? What does that do to their career? What does that do to the people around them? Being in that kind of situation. And so like him being a drummer and then me being a drummer really spoke to me. One, with the fear of losing my hearing one day, which I hope that doesn't happen. For the most part, I protect my ears, but it really did kind of open your eyes to what can happen, and those kinds of changes. When you do lose your hearing, it's not something that you can just get back, and that's a lesson that that Ruben learns in the story. But without giving too much away, I love the story. I love the characters. The messages that it's putting out. Within the story, he meets a guy named Joe that's a part of this American Sign Language community, and he's also there for rehabilitation. And so he learns American Sign Language and kind of realizes this is like his new life. And so you just kind of go on this journey with him. It's shot in a way where it's super raw and very just kind of experiential. So like you're kind of there with the main character, just as much as he does in the situation. So it's really, really interesting to kind of live that experience throughout the film with him. And so by the end of it, like you just kind of step back and you're just like, wow. Like I remember I wish I could have seen this in the theater. It's on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend you could check it out there. It would have been great to see it in the theater, and that sucks that that's the case. But like the sound design, the cinematography, it's all just it's beautiful and just amazing, and definitely will have award contention for an Oscar, whether that's acting, sound design, cinematography, or even screenplay, because it's an original story. I think it might be based on true events in some form. I don't think they really like outline that, but it could be. But yeah, Sound of Metal. It's gonna be great to see. But yeah, have you guys heard of it?
Never heard of it.
I
Sounds good.
did. I saw it advertised somewhere. Forgot where, but yeah, I was like, oh, it's interesting. And then I flipped through. I think it was like on TikTok of all places. So I was like, oh, that's cool. But flipped to the next
That's what they
thing.
intended to market the movie.
And then my mind, yeah, I know, my mind was like gone. I was like, why? I was like, what was that?
But yeah, it's one of those movies when you see the credits roll, like you definitely don't expect that whenever the credits roll, but you're just hit with the whole experience all at once. You're just like, wow, it's truly a thought provoking film for sure. But yeah, if you haven't seen Sound of Metal, go check it out. You won't be disappointed, and it's probably going to be nominated for a Best Picture in this year's Oscars for sure.
Oh.
At this point, I'm betting all my money on that because the acting's incredible. He may get a nomination for that, but it's a lot of lesser known actors, so this could be their chance to shine.
Yeah, that's interesting because recently I was contacted by someone who is writing an article about how hearing and a loss of hearing impacts art. And so I volunteered to do the interview. And there's some really thought-provoking questions on how we perceive the world by our hearing. And there's probably a lot of ways that we don't even realize that we're influenced by sound because sometimes we just focus on the visual so much, but there's so many things that impact us just from what we hear. And without that, I think we take in the world in a very different way.
Definitely, it opened my eyes to the deaf community a little bit more than what I've already kind of known, as well as when you have people that try to fix their hearing. When you can't really fix it, you can only kind of make do with it. But when they get implants or things like that, it kind of speaks on that experience, and that was some things that I didn't even know. So it was very educational in that regard as well. But yeah,
we'll have to go watch it.
Yes, check out Sound of Metal. It's probably going to be a Best Picture nomination. I hope it wins because that would be cool. But it's definitely a sleeper hit for sure. So yeah,